Hey, what's up, man? So I'm going to teach you a really quick, easy recipe for making chili. It's really good. Any dude can do it. Doesn't take much time at all. So here we go. I cook it on the stove in a big pot. I have 2 pounds of ground beef. I like using the 93%, so that way I don't have to drain it. It leaves. I will put the stove on high and start cooking this because I'm going to stand here and chop it around and stir it up constantly to get it browned and get it ready to add the rest of the ingredients. So cooking the ground beef is first step. The way I do it is to use a spatula and basically chop it all up and get it all separated. And as it cooks, I will continue to chop it up and kind of turn it around, make sure that it all gets nice and evenly cooked. So we're going to let that go for a minute. As this ground beef continues to cook, you can use your spatula and continue to chop it up. And then you can just kind of move it around in there to make sure it all gets evenly cooked. This takes a few minutes, but it gets done quicker if you continue to move it around. One of the reasons I chop it up as I go along is because as it continues to cook, it makes it separate into little smaller sections, which in turn makes it cook a little faster. And you also don't have the big chunks of ground beef in it. If you tried to run it this hot and walked away from it and just let it sit there, it would burn everything on the bottom of the pan, you know what I mean? So you can run it hot as long as you're moving it around. Is getting closer. You see we still got a little bit of pink in there. So we're going to continue to stir it around and get it cooked. Okay. Thank you, Emily, for that cameo. So the ground beef is now brown. Because I use the leaner ground beef, I choose not to drain it. Next thing we're going to do is back the heat down to low. I choose, for my chili, Williams Tex Mex style chili seasoning. Each package says it seasons 2 pounds of meat, right? I tend to put a package and a half. You go 2 full packages, it is super spicy. And if you like that, go for it. But for me, a package and a half has turned out to be about the spicy that I like. So you do this first, the first thing after the ground beef is cooked. This is the first thing you need to put in here, because if you try to mix this after you start putting some of the other ingredients, it'll be kind of messy and it'll be a little harder to distribute it around. So you basically just take your spatula and mix it all in there really good until it all looks pretty even. This is what it's going to look like with the seasoning in it. Just darkens it up a little bit. Okay. These are my ingredients on top of the ground beef and seasoning. I am going to put 2 cans of original Rotel and 4 cans of beans. You can really pick whatever beans you want. I just picked those just because I like putting black beans in it, just because it gives it a little color. There's really no other reason. The Rotel original is awesome, and we're going to add those. And then the vegetable juice, I add that on top of everything that goes in to give it more volume. Okay, get more servings out of it that way. Cans of Rotel. I'm going to stir these in. Next up, dark red kidney beans. Now these I will drain. Drain the next one. 2 cans of beans. This one doesn't have a flip top. I gotta do it the hard way. That's 4 cans of beans total, and I actually think I'm gonna stop right there. Let's mix these in and see what kind of mix we have going now. Okay, so let me show you what we got. This is 2 pounds of ground beef, 4 cans of beans, 2 cans of Rotel, a package and a half of Williams Tex Mex chili seasoning. Now we're going to add the vegetable juice. The vegetable juice adds volume to the final product. Basically, so I can feed more people, right? I shake this up first. I have lots of kids, so when I made dinner, I had to make a lot, and making it a little soupier fed more kids. So here we go. And I will fill this up until we get to about that volume, okay? So then we're gonna mix this in really good. So far, so good. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid on it and we're gonna let it boil. So once it starts boiling, I will turn the heat back down to low and sit on low until everybody gets here and gets ready to serve it up. So the key things to remember when you're making this pot of chili is use lean meat, and that way you don't have to drain it. So that's a step that you can avoid. And for me, I like things easy. I don't cook complicated stuff, and being able to skip that step is perfect. So lean ground beef and about 4 cans of beans on top of that makes for a good balance, of beans and ground beef. And yeah, it's super easy. It's going to be boiling here in a matter of minutes. I'll stir it around a few more times, put it back on low, and it'll be ready to serve. Okay, so this has been boiling for a few minutes. So now I'm going to stir it back up. Let you see what you got. This is some people like chili really soupy. Some people like it super thick. I like it kind of in the middle. That's the finished product. Okay, that's all I got. Good luck, and let me know how your chili turns out. See you.